Okay, huddle break. Right before we go into you now practicing and developing a vowel that is a little bit out of place, a vowel that you know is, that's way off. I need to develop it. Before we do that, we first need to go over this. So the four most important vowels to focus on first for you, if you have any of these that are off, are the E sound, the U sound, the A sound, and the AW sound. Now, if your E sound is really far back, okay, just extremely far back than usual or than average, then you want to focus on pushing this up. If your oo sound is low, if it's a little bit far forward than it should be, then you want to focus on bringing it back. For me, my ah sound, okay, it was extremely low when I was practicing it. Again, most likely because I was over accentuating. Nevertheless, let's say that really was it, then I need to bring that up, okay? I have the right F2 for it, but I need to bring that upwards because it's way too low. Your aw sound, if it's too far forward, too high, too far back, then you want to start adjusting that, okay? First, establish that these four are within a reasonable range of what average looks like. Record yourself as you are saying each of these vowels and make sure that it compares at least to somebody that you hear on TV, to myself, or to anybody else that has that general American English accent. And if you say, you know what, that's actually fairly close, whenever I'm saying that, it sounds very similar to me, then go ahead and move forward on going into all of the vowels that are now inside of here. That being the S sound, the schwa, the sound, the one that kind of looks like a U, but is like, I don't know what that's actually called, but it's the sound for good. Then you start moving on to those and adjusting those. But you first need to establish these four corners before you move into this vowel space inside of here. Now, the most used vowel in general American English is that schwa. I think I may have talked to you guys about this before. That is actually a very important vowel to focus on later on down the road. And arguably, you could say that's the first vowel that you should target, but you first need to establish, again, I've already labored this 2 times now, here's the 3rd time, you need to labor this box first and then address inside of that vowel space. Now, you should be sensitive to co-articulation. So let's say this E sound, and let's say you're saying the word beard, okay? Right after that E sound is the R sound. And what happens with our tongue is we bring it back. Okay, let me draw this in purple for the tongue. When we say that beard, ear, that second sound, which is the R, we end up taking our tongue and bringing it back. So most likely, some of you might have your E sound start off right here because you are anticipating bringing back your tongue for that R. So you might do beard, 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 instead of maintaining that E sound further forward in your mouth and dragging it back, okay? Let me say this one more time, maybe in a different way. Co-articulation is you anticipating what could happen next. Let's use a different word for this example. Batter, okay? We're going to use this A sound for batter. When we say ba, 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 very similar to b, 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 right? You have that closure of the lips for the B sound, and then you hop right into that vowel. So your tongue is going to be able to be nice and adjusted to wherever you need to go to next. But right after that ba sound, we have the D, batter. And what we do with our tongue with that D is we get the tip of the tongue and we slam it right up top. Let me use this orange for the D. We get our tongue and we slam it right up top, right here on this hard part of the alveolar ridge. So batter, batter. And what you could do, or what we most likely do, is we anticipate that D sound, even though we do spell it with the T, we anticipate that D sound for batter, and we raise this ah sound a little bit more than we usually would. And be aware of whenever you have these type of co-articulations, and be sensitive to those sounds that follow after any of these vowels, okay? Be aware in such a way that you are understanding, hey, whenever I have this R that follows this vowel sound, I end up distorting that vowel a little bit more than I actually have to. So let me make sure whenever I say bar, R, this ah sound, I am maintaining this lowness and this backness. I am not raising this ah sound just because my R is dragging my tongue up and back right here. Okay, I'm going to maintain this and then move into my R, which raises my tongue high and back. Okay, be sensitive to that. Be a learner of how you're producing your sounds, and just keep an eye out for your co-articulation and what is making those vowels a little bit harder inside of that word. Now, here's the reason why I took out this stressed sound. Most English speakers can't hear the difference. And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, it's very difficult for even me to pick up on this difference between the stressed sound and the unstressed sound. You can hear it with certain words, of course, but if we're being honest with ourselves, we don't necessarily hear it every time, and we don't catch it every time. So that's why I am not having you plot out this particular phoneme or this particular sound. The same goes for this one. I have a hard time differentiating between these two. The A is a lot more important than this backwards C. In the grand scheme of things, the A is a lot more important than the C when we're talking about having a general American English accent and at least aiming for it. If you really want to get refined, if you really want to get good at differentiating between these two, and if you want to go the third mile on that, then by all means be my guest. But again, you want to focus on that box and making sure that you have each of these four corners, the E, the A, the Ah, and the Oo squared away. All right? Then go ahead and start focusing on these smaller ones if you so choose. But I can guarantee you, you most likely won't hear that big of a difference in your accent compared to those who have that general American English accent. So now I want you to stick around for this next module, and I am now going to show you how you can develop each of these sounds. And I'm going to use myself and my vowel space as a case study for you.